GMGP, good morning, good people. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all decided to wake up with us. You're sick. You're sick in the head. There's a lot of fantasy football shows out there, but I promise y'all, they not like us. Brock Bowers, you looked a little quicker than fast. What does that even mean? Redraft, dynasty, best ball, high stakes, we got you covered. And that's MVS and Justin Watson with some of the dopest tools designed to help you cancel out the noise and dominate your leagues. If there's a white wide receiver named Antoine, sign me up. Maybe it's cultural. I don't know. In season or off season, rain, sleet, hail, and snow, comma, semicolon, period, next sentence, to bring you the most actionable and entertaining content on YouTube. You don't go buy the dip on the Titanic.
Quarterback that you love, D-Bro. One of the best values in fantasy football.
Prop bets with my man JRich.
Is that yes! Let's go!
So wipe the crust out of your eye, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake y'all asses up. We're Ray
and Jay
in the morning.
My God.
How good is
Dude,
he? How
so
good is he? Let's get it. GMGP. It is Wednesday. Happy hump day. August 6th, 2025. JRich, we got football tomorrow, big dog. We got football tomorrow, baby. Hit the air horns for me one time. We got Dro in the building. SATX 83. We're going to talk about it, baby. JRich, you are going to have no choice but to watch WWE pretty damn soon. You ain't gonna have a choice. JRich,
really?
Appreciate you being here. Yeah, you didn't see the news? That's all right, I got you. I know you didn't read the show notes, so I got you. Don't worry about it. Peter, what's going on? GMGP to you. We got Joe in the building. What's happening? Richie, Jimbo. They still taking bets, JRich. We're just trying to make sure that we don't, that they said you sounded like the Wizard of Oz on the last show.
You gotta push your gain up a little bit.
Is it a little quiet? Is it a little quiet?
You are a little quiet. Yeah, push it up a little bit.
Is that better? Is that better, Jay?
A little more. A little more.
Give
the people what they want.
Give the people, they want that loudness. All right,
yes, they do.
Let's turn it all the way up. I put it at 100.
There you
How's
go.
that sound?
You're
you like
good.
That?
Perfect.
Air horns me, baby.
Sound
We
great.
at 100 today. 10,000. Ashton Hall style, baby. Who else we got in the building? Bijan is in the building. Richie in the building. Adam in the building. Walt. What's going down? Adam Zaff, Lando, BK, Fredo, Scribbles in the building. Graphic 13, Richie Campbell. Jason, how you doing? I see my dog Marcus in here. Yeah, man. Little Yahoo going down. We'll talk about that. I don't see Jorge, so we can't really start the show until Jorge gets here. But appreciate everybody being in the building. JRich hit the music. How you doing, baby?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, it's funny that you're talking about the WWE news and the streaming wars rage on in the U.S., Ray. It's an interesting time for sports fans, WWE fans in general. Not a big issue for me, though. I think all of my pay-per-view events are going to be all on Netflix. But we'll see. Maybe that'll change. But for now, I'm expecting everything to stay where it's at. So I will have no issues when it comes to watching premium WWE content.
That's what I'm talking about. DT702 music in the building. Shout out air horns from my home city, man. Shout out to Vegas, man. North Las Vegas 702. Let's go, DT. Appreciate you being in the building. We got a big show today, Jay. We got a bunch of players signing contracts, getting extended. We got Micah Parsons standing next to Jerry Jones, but no deal is done, and now he may not even be playing week one. I don't even know why I have this damn shirt on today. Why the hell do I have this Cowboy shirt on? I need to take it off. Fair. We got news, acquisitions. We talked a little WWE. Let's start off, JRich, with a bit of personal news from old GQ. I started my job at Yahoo this past week and did a thing with Matt Harmon, man. So if y'all were not able to check out a live stream, so every Monday, I think it's Sunday through Thursday, actually. Every Sunday through Thursday, Yahoo Fantasy is going to go live. Great time, too. I'm looking at the time they went live, JRich, and I'm like, it's a pretty good time. I kind of like that time slot. A lot of views, a lot of eyeballs on it. But I dropped my first video on the fantasy forecast on Yahoo with Harmon. 10 sleepers you can't sleep on, JRich. I learned quickly that we are a little bit of degenerates over here, so my sleepers were quite sleepier than Matt Harmon's. They were a little bit sleepier than Matt Harmon's, JRich. I gotta adjust for my audience, but it was a dope show. It's a brand new YouTube channel over there on Yahoo Fantasy, Yahoo Fantasy's YouTube channel. So subscribe to that. Check out my video and show love. Let them folks know at Yahoo who y'all want to see on the big screen more. So go run up the likes, go comment about it, check it out. And I also dropped an article. We'll get to that later when we go through the Twitter stuff. But we do have content on DDFFB that dropped this morning. It's no Yahoo, but I'm telling you, Shane knows what he's talking about, all right? Go check out Shane's piece. KTC Dynasty Risers, buy, sell, hold. Just dropped probably like an hour ago on our
Yep.
fantasy channel, DD Fantasy Football. So please check that out. And Dynasty Theory did go live on the channel Monday. There's Trade Show that's live. So there's just like tons of dope free content. Show some support, show some love, like, subscribe, watch, engage, all that other good stuff, JRich. Let's get the ticker on the screen and talk about the big acquisition. A lot of people in the chat are saying ESPN is about to ruin Sundays for us, JRich, because there was an acquisition, right? An acquisition. ESPN, what they did, they got NFL Network.
Yeah, I mean, there was a report that they got finally. I mean, this deal's been pending for a while. NFL media has been trying to sell their rights to another media company. It seems that ESPN is going to be that partner. But there has been some language saying that the NFL is still going to run NFL Red Zone and some NFL media content. And so it's not going to change the content. This is more about distribution rights. And so we may see NFL Red Zone as part of ESPN's premium streaming packages that they're trying to put together. You see a lot about ESPN's DTC, direct-to-consumer content. There was another report, I believe Field Yates tweeted it out, that there's going to be additional draft shows every single day as part of that premium offering as well, because ESPN is upping their draft coverage along with even more content as well. So this is just part of Disney, again, buying up content and putting together a larger DTC package that I'm sure will all be wrapped under ESPN Plus. And the other news, right, Ray? So along with NFL media is that WWE rights that everyone's kind of upset about in the chat. And I'm curious to see how that plays over the people. It's supposed to be like $30 a month for their premium events. You're on mute, Ray.
Every time I do this, it goes to mute because of the Wizard of Oz sound that we have. So I got to fix that. But what is everybody upset about? WWE Premium, you get 10 premium live events. I think it includes UFC, but do not quote me
Why
on that.
would it include? Oh, because who's the company?
TKO.
They own both, right?
TKO.
Yeah, they
TKO.
own both, right?
I think it includes UFC, but do not quote me on that. But Jay, I'm just telling folks, man, it's great entertainment. For the months that you ain't got nothing else to do, you're arguing about goddamn rookie minicamp reps and OTAs and routes on air. It's great TV. It's drama. It's good TV. It's athleticism. People get hurt. It's fun. You're going to have no choice. Pretty soon, JRich, we're going to have a wake up, WWE wake up. Where like it's happening at some point. ESPN is just gobbling up everything and everybody. So, I was excited when I woke up to see this, and they're going to do a season 2.
You were excited for this.
Yeah. I was too, like,
but don't they already have the premium events? Like, are they adding premium events? Like, it's this.
No, it's
like,
it
seems
Peacock.
like they're taking.
It's on Peacock right now. It's on Peacock. It's on Peacock.
So you're just paying more money for the same thing, essentially, which kind of sucks. I mean, for me, it doesn't change anything because there's basically 1 or 2 companies that run everything for us. So we get everything a little bit cheaper than you guys do versus like 10 companies all vying for the 4, 5, 6 major sports, whatever you want to call it, and premium events all year long.
Hey, get it on ESPN. I don't give a damn what it costs, JRich. If I get to watch good quality programming, it's $30 a year, right? $30.
No, $30 a month. It's $300 it's $300 a year. It's more than I pay for the NFL and Champions League combined.
Well,
yeah, so now you're rethinking it. Well, $30 a year is. I don't know about that one, but
okay.
You're like,
Jay. Yeah, I'm just excited, right? I like WWE, so I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay $30 a month though. Hopefully, my Netflix and Peacock subscriptions will keep me covered, and yeah, we'll move on to the next thing, JRich, because that changed the equation just a tad bit for me. $30 a month. I don't know, JRich. I don't know if we could do that. But there was some big news, man. There was been some rumblings, Jay. What was going to happen? Is this player going to sign? It was talked about last week, and I think we even discussed it a little bit on Monday's Wake Up Show, but now it's official, right? Los Angeles Chargers, they have a new weapon on offense, Keenan Allen, back in the fold. They have agreed. I think it's like, what, an $8 million deal for Keenan Allen, a lot of incentive-laden deal for Keenan Allen, but Keenan Allen joins a very talented offense. You got 2 dope tackles. Rashawn Slater just read up to be the highest paid offensive lineman. You got Joe Alt, first round pick last year. Ladd McConkey, we know what he did. You drafted Omarion Hampton. Najee Harris is walking laps at practice, getting in shape. Justin Herbert has another weapon. How are we feeling about Keenan Allen in Los Angeles?
I mean, I think this story isn't necessarily even about Keenan Allen, right? It's more about what can this Chargers offense be with Keenan Allen in the fold. You know, you were talking about this, and you seemed like you were a little bit nervous about Ladd McConkey and his ceiling in this offense with Keenan Allen part of the team. Now it's official. Do you feel any differently about how good this Chargers offense can be, and more importantly, how good Ladd McConkey can be with Keenan Allen definitely going to be on the roster this season?
I'm not worried about Ladd. Let me get that out the way right now. I'm not worried about Ladd McConkey. I don't think it's going to okay. It impacts him, but I don't think it takes away from Ladd. Ladd only had, you talked about it on Monday. He had what, 112, 113 targets?
112 targets, yeah.
He's getting more than that. Even with Keenan Allen, I would expect an uptick in opportunity for Ladd McConkey. If anything, when he's on the field, Keenan Allen was very good. You can go check the Trinity. When he was on the field, he was very, very good at doing what Keenan Allen has historically done: get open, win deep, win underneath, be a consistent, viable target for the quarterback. That's going to help Ladd out. That's going to help Ladd out. And I think where people are a little concerned is your immediate thought is, oh my God, they both play in the slot. They both can't play in the slot. You can't have two guys in the slot and three wide receiver sets. But Keenan Allen plays a lot outside too. Keenan Allen is good enough and has shown an ability to win in traditional outside roles, not just in the slot where Ladd McConkey primarily played. And to your point, JRich, if Ladd is really that dude, we love us some Ladarius McConkey, don't we? We love us some Ladarius. If he is as good as we think he is there not a world where he plays a little bit? Can he play a little? Can they interchange him a little bit, right? You don't want to primarily stick Ladd on the outside. You want to give him the two-way go, but I think they could work fine together. I do not think this is bad for Ladd McConkey at all. If anything, I would be very concerned about them Keandre Lambert-Smiths and those Trey Harris shares early on. Just early on. If you're asking me what this wide receiver core looks like to start the season, it's Quentin Johnson, it's Keenan Allen, it's Ladd McConkey.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that's where the bigger story is what are we going to see from Trey Harris, and do we see much of anything, especially with Keenan Allen now on the roster for foreseeably the entire season? Because that's where, you know, this team's offensive ceiling could be raised even if there was a world where Trey Harris could get on the field and could supplant Quentin Johnson as that X wide receiver, that outside boundary wide receiver, because he just simply is a better player than Johnson. But if that doesn't happen because he doesn't have the ability to get on the field, that's where I think the really, really high-end ceiling for Trey Harris being great and Ladd and you know, Johnson, Rager, whoever kind of working in as well, hurts a little bit. But Allen is obviously a phenomenal piece of this offense. It's an offense that now could be more efficient, probably be better on third down. The chemistry with him and Herbert's already there. So adding all of that already, I think adding Allen is only a good thing for this team. I understand people want Trey Harris to be a thing. They want their deep sleepers to get.
Oh yeah, they want that Trey.
But this is going to make the team better, make Herbert better, and probably make Ladd better as well. It's not going to draw coverage away from Ladd by any stretch, but having that other player that can move the chains on third down so he doesn't have to do it all himself is a big asset to this offense as a whole.
JRich, the people are saying. You said.
How long ago I say that, man? Like
2
a month
months
ago, it feels like.
2 months ago?
Maybe 2 months ago.
It was longer than a month ago because we've been.
And imagine if Najee Harris had two eyes, how good this offense could be.
Just for those who
with
don't
those
know
two
what I'm
running
talking
backs.
about, JRich has been on record. I'm giving him his due. We got to give JRich his credit. Y'all be getting on my dog. We got to give him his credit, right? This is a top 5 offense in the NFL. I laughed him out of the building. I'm not saying that Keenan Allen coming in elevates it to that level, Jay. I did a show on Bleacher Report yesterday. My top 5 offenses, the Chargers were nowhere to be found. Okay, they were not inside.
Who were your top 5 offenses?
My top 5 offenses going into the season, I had who did I have? Washington, Detroit, Baltimore, Buffalo, and Philadelphia.
Okay.
Those are my top 5.
Okay.
What I'm giving you credit for is this does look better. No excuses for Justin Herbert. No excuses for Justin Herbert. I think he's got the weaponry. He's got the offensive front. You bring in your guy. There's consistencies there. Yeah, man, we're going to see, Jay. We're going to see. You said this was a top 5 offense, and you love that Najee Harris. So I'm just giving you your credit and your due because you said that a long time ago, man.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So do you want to move to the other side of LA? To the
Well,
other side of the building?
the other side of what building?
SoFi Stadium?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it. Let's go to the other side of the building, JRich. What else do we have? Bam!
Well, there you go. Look at you.
Bam!
The Los Angeles Rams, Ray, have re-signed
Hey, JRich.
Kyren Williams. What's up?
Did I not tell the people 3 years ago? Kyren was that dude. They hated me, JRich. They said I was crazy. Ran a slow 40. I said, you know what? The tape don't lie. This is a damn good running back. And here we are, man. I got some misses, JRich, but your boy is hitmaker over here, too. I tried to tell the people, and they didn't want to buy it. He's fifth rounder. He's too slow. He's eating pizza at the combine. They gave him $33 million, JRich. How you feeling about Kyren? Okay. We're going to talk about the Rams. How do you feel about Kyren? Good for Kyren, right? This is great. Get the hell out of here with Blake Corum taking over. Jarquez Hunter ain't taking his job. It's Kyren Williams, right? Fumbles be damned. They said, we need this dude. He's a good pass protector. He's been arguably a top 5 NFL running back the past 2 years. You really can't debate it. Carries, yards. He's inside the top 4, I believe, over the last 2 years. He gets extended. Great for Kyren Williams, who's still relatively young, JRich.
Yeah, so going into his age 25 season, 3 years, $33 million, $23 million guaranteed. So 2 years essentially guaranteed for Kyren Williams. So he's going to be on the roster till at least 2027. But yeah, Jarquez Hunter, I still think potentially could be a thing because I think what people need to not excuse is the comments that Sean McVay has made, that Les Snead has made about getting a more dynamic running back in the fold. That's probably not going to be Blake Corum, depending on how he looks this season coming off of injury. It's probably going to be Jarquez Hunter. Now, it's not going to be a big role, but it could be a complimentary role, maybe 80 total touches for the season. As you mentioned, Kyren's still going to be the lead dog there, probably going to have somewhere in the range of 300 touches once again. But do you feel more confident now about drafting Kyren in some drafts based off kind of where he was at before?
Yes, Jay. And I see, and this is the shit that we do, right? Oh, we've never seen a paid RB for the Rams fall out of favor. It's like you want the signals to indicate confidence for a player. You want to see a team pay your player, invest in them. And then when it happens, it's like, well, I don't give a shit. He's still not that good, so I still don't want. Like, what are we doing? He's a 25-year-old running back that they just gave $33 million. So I was thinking about this before the show because people are like, oh, now I can sell him. Now I can. Do we not like fantasy? Like, what are we doing? Do you not like fantasy points? Do you not like scoring points to help you win a fantasy championship? He's going to. You know what Kyren Williams is going to do? Go get the ball a whole bunch like he's done the past 2 seasons. A 25-year-old running back who they just gave $30-something million to. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. It doesn't have to be. You cannot like the decision. But you know what? You ain't in the goddamn building, right? You're not in the building, so your opinion is irrelevant. The money talks. The money speaks volumes. If they didn't pay him, Jay, they cut him, they declined his option, whatever. It wouldn't matter what I thought about his play. It wouldn't matter that I like him or I think he's a good pass protector. The team said, we're good. We don't want you. But the team said, we want you. Even with us trading up for Jarquez Hunter, we're going to give you a whole bunch of money. And you know what they're going to do? Give him the damn ball. So if you want points, use them. Draft them, trade for them. If you don't like him and you think that Les Snead made a bad decision and you're a better goddamn GM, then don't draft him. But what's he going to do? My confidence meter sky high. He's going to get the ball. He's a running back. They just paid him. He's going to get the ball. And I want points. So my confidence meter is fine.
Okay. I'm
with you. What else is there to say?
Yeah, I mean, to your point, there isn't a better indicator than him getting re-signed and them only drafting a 4th rounder. Like, I think, you look at some parallels. People have brought up Ramondre Stevenson because Ramondre Stevenson got paid and seemingly got replaced the following season, right, in Travion Henderson. But until that happens, I'm still projecting a large workload for Kyren Williams. I'm not overly concerned about what we see for him. Now, when it comes to the Rams, Ray, there is definitely some much larger concerns at the helm right now because their starting quarterback
yes,
has got some issues.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford is dealing with a back injury, right? On Tuesday, Adam Schefter went on his podcast and he said that Matthew Stafford is dealing with a back injury. He is being managed as far as his workload in training camp and practice and the throws because of the injury, but the Rams aren't overly concerned for him for week 1. Now, this morning, Ian Rappaport came out and he said that QB Matthew Stafford, who's dealing with an aggravated disc, has received an epidural for him to help with the pain. Now, with that same Schefter report, he said that he believed if the Rams had to play today, Matthew Stafford would be on the field and available to play in that game, even if it was today. So that's where this story is so interesting because Matthew Stafford's dealt with back injuries before. He's missed time from a back injury before. And we see this happen from time to time with players with these back injuries. It's more of a pain management thing, but you can't help but be a little nervous because even if he is available for week 1, a couple hits the wrong way could send him out very quickly, and you're stuck with Jimmy G and God knows what else at quarterback. This is a team that we're heavily invested in with Kyren Williams, with Puka Nacua, with Davante Adams. How does this make you feel about this Rams offense, and especially if you have a Puka Nacua or Davante Adams on the roster?
Not good. I mean, we kind of talked about this over the past couple of weeks, and we're like, oh, he'll be fine. Dude, I don't care what sport it is, a bad back is probably no bueno. NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, FIFA, tennis, golf, chess, swimming. A bad back is probably not good. I'm not going to pretend to know the severity of like an aggravated disc, epidural, week to week, but plans to be ready for week 1. I guess my question is, what type of impact can he sustain without aggravating it more? And I'm just reading some of the Jeff Mueller, one of the best fantasy football injury doctors. He's a part of our community. Shout out to Jeff. He told us in our Discord that this is something where he could see Stafford in 2 weeks being right on the field, ready to play, no issues. And then 2 weeks after that, he's completely shut down. It's one of those like extremes on both ends to where he could be fine and then nothing, but just the nature of the position, right? They're going to take shots. They're going to get sacked. You're going to get dragged down the wrong way. And Davante Adams was talking about this with Travis Hunter, that this is a 100% injury guaranteed sport. And Matthew Stafford is not 23 years old with that fresh back, right? This is an old back. This ain't this is a used and abused back right here. So, listen, I don't want, if he's not out there because he's taking back shots, it's going to be a problem. Like, it's just going to be a problem. It's going to be an absolute problem. And come on, man.
There is no way
Come
you
on, dude.
just said that on this show with this audience. There is no way you just didn't think, man, I can't just say back shots and get away with it.
I'm talking about his medical, taking hits.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Yes, I'm concerned.
Kelly Stafford is
Kelly Stafford, stop.
Kelly Stafford, a wild one, Ray. A wild one, according to you.
If he's not there, I don't, people are like, oh, I think it hurts Puka and Adams more than it hurts damn Kyren Williams. If he's not out there, it hurts. I think this is it's a bigger thing for the pass catchers, man.
See, I actually kind of disagree.
Okay.
And it's not that I hear what you're saying, but the problem with Kyren is a volume rusher, and he is somewhat inefficient at times. So if you already know that as a defensive coordinator, yes, we obviously know that Jimmy G is not the same passer that Matthew Stafford is, but if Jimmy G needs to throw the ball 40 times a game, he can throw the ball 40 times a game, and he can give you 5 or 6 Puka, Davante receptions a game to help keep their value afloat, right? But the problem with Kyren, if you stack the box against Kyren, he's probably going to be pretty bad. And
yeah, it's probably not good for any of them.
When you bring down that scoring, right? Because Jimmy G's not going to score the same amount of points that Matthew Stafford's going to score. That's where I think you have some issues. His touchdowns will go down. He doesn't really catch passes. I don't think Jimmy G really dumps it down anyways. And if that efficiency goes down even further, that's when you have some issues. You may be able to get Puka Nacua and Davante Adams to that 6 reception, 50-yard range. It's not great, but it's 11 points a game. If Kyren Williams doesn't score and he gets 50 rushing yards in a game, you're basically sunk, and he's at that point a replaceable asset. So that's the only reason why I think that Jimmy could at least keep Puka and Devontae afloat. And of course, they can do plenty in their own right after the catch as well, right? But Kyren is a little bit more dependent on that play calling and on that scheme. And the offensive line, I wouldn't say is quite ready to where we're confident they can deliver. If Jimmy's the quarterback, they're going to be close to the line. They're going to be guarding against the running game because they know that he can't pass very effectively. So I'm a little bit more worried about Kyren Williams than I am about Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams as far as their dip in production.
I don't think you could do it. I don't think there's any actionable move yet. I would not invite. I'm with you to a degree, right? I would not fade Puka Nacua right now, no way. And I also wouldn't fade Devontae Adams right now, no way. Nor Kyren yet. But I am on very high alert about 39-year-old Matthew Stafford and his back. Let me just ask you: Puka Nacua currently going off the board in Underdog is wide receiver 4 right now. It's Chase, it's Lamb, it's Jefferson, and it's Puka Nacua. So I'm going to give you a would you rather. Would you rather Puka Nacua or Malik Neighbors right now?
Malik Neighbors.
Puka Nacua or Nico Collins?
Nico Collins.
Puka Nacua or Amon-Ra St. Brown?
I'll take Amon-Ra.
Puka Nacua or Brian Thomas?
Brian Thomas.
Puka Nacua or Drake London?
I'll take Drake London.
I think I'm with you on all of these. Here we go. Puka Nacua or A.J. Brown?
I'll take A.J. Brown.
Puka Nacua or Ladd McConkey?
That's when I think you're probably within range. I think you could take Puka over Ladd.
Let me give you one more after Ladd just to see if Puka Nacua or Tyreek Hill.
I'd probably take Puka Nacua.
That you're at wide receiver 11, JRich.
Yeah. The interesting one, honestly, is T. Higgins.
Would
you rather have Puka Nacua or T. Higgins?
He's next. He's after Tyreek at 13.
Because he was on, he did the interview with Kay Adams yesterday because she was at Bengals camp. And there's reports he's going to play a big slot role in Cincinnati and could be a guy that approaches well over 100 catches this season in that big slot role, with Jamar Chase obviously being the outside receiver. That would be a phenomenal role for Higgins. And if you increase that PPR ability from him to a little bit less down the field, a little bit more consistency, especially for a player like Higgins that has struggled with consistency throughout his career because he is the other outside receiver. You move into the slot, he'd be a phenomenal talent. So I think that's another player that you could look to say, and this offense is probably going to be great once again, probably going to be in the top 5 or close to it. I think that, you can make a case for T. Higgins even over Puka Nacua because you're just pretty sure about the volume and you really like the ceiling, obviously, with that quarterback.
Yeah. And let me just ask you about Adams. Let's just do the same thing for Adams. All right. To see Adams is coming off the board right now, seasonal leagues, Underdog, wide receiver 16. Right now, just right now, would you rather have Devontae Adams or Jackson Smith-Njigba?
I'd probably rather have Adams.
Okay. Adams or Mike Evans?
I'd probably still take Adams.
Adams or Rasheed?
Rasheed Rice? Oh, definitely Adams.
Okay. Well,
that's
Adams
that nasty spot, right? With like Rasheed Rice, Terry McLaurin, and who's the other guy? Who's
Xavier Worthy and Tedero McMillan. So
McMillan, yeah, the other guy I'm not drafted in that slot.
I mean,
like you can make the case for Worthy, I think, but Adams' price isn't quite. So where are you at on those 4 guys then? Because I don't think Adams' price is so crazy that you want to fade it. Because he is kind of at the bottom of a tier. You can take Evans over him if you want. Like, I understand people want
I'm
JSN.
gonna just be honest with you. I think it's all preference here. Like the difference between everybody in the chats. Oh my God, you can't take London over Puka Nacua. Didn't London have 150 targets and as a quarterback upgrade? Like I think those guys are very similar. I think their range of outcome based on how they were used last year. You may like that name more, but I don't think there's a huge difference between Puka Nacua, Nico Collins, Amon-Ra, BTJ, and even Drake London. I don't believe that. I do not believe that there is this chasm of difference between those guys that you are just, maybe you don't have to draft Drake London at the 9th overall pick because you can get him at pick 16, but usage wise and their ability to operate inside of their offense, I don't think it's that big of a difference. So if you didn't like Puka at wide receiver 4 and you just would prefer Malik Neighbors, I'll wait, take a running back there, and I'll draft Brian Thomas. I don't think that's a crazy take at all.
No, even
We'll
if
see what
Stafford was
happens.
fully healthy, people are going to take their preference of receivers there because
Yeah,
they're
it's
all
just
in that same range. You're hoping for the same range of outcomes.
they're split by 5 or 6 picks. Now I think the and then if you're talking dynasty, I really don't think it's that big of a difference if you're talking dynasty. I'm talking
No.
seasonal leagues, and I think it's
Yeah.
even less of a gap in a
Well, in
thing where you got
Dynasty,
to
you're not even
hold a.
worried about Stafford's injury, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
just, it is what it is. You got to deal with it.
Well, speaking of injuries, we're not going to discuss an injury. We are going to discuss a suspension because Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison has been adjudicated by the NFL. JRich, he is going to miss, I believe it's 3 games for his DUI charge that was
You're talking about
finalized,
two
however you
seasons
want to
ago,
say it.
right?
Yeah, a couple of seasons ago. But here it is. Jordan Addison will miss the first 3 games of the 2025 regular season for violating the league's substance abuse policy. He'll miss the Chicago game, the Falcons game, and the Cincinnati Bengals game. So Jordan Addison gonna miss a little bit of time. JRich, the let's talk about Minnesota. Let's talk about
Okay.
Minnesota because the reports seem to be very extreme. It's either he's the greatest quarterback in NFL history in waiting, or all of this hype is a little bit overblown and he's fine, but he is no GOAT. And we should all temper expectations for this offense. Harmon and I were talking on the fantasy forecast, and he's like, hey, this might be an offense that is scaled back. There's not as much vertical downfield shots taken. They clearly have a plan to run the ball. They've invested significant capital for their offensive line. They traded for Will Freeze, gave him a deal. They
Yep.
drafted Donovan Jackson, the versatile guard tackle out of Ohio State, in the first round. You got Brian O'Neill, Christian Darrisaw. Like, their offensive line is going to be good. They bring in Jordan Mason, JRich, who, for those who don't know, I dropped an article on Yahoo right here, breaking down
Ooh.
3 different backfields. Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones Sr. Mason's advanced per carry metrics are right on par with some of the best running backs in the NFL. And you already hear the coaching staff and the OC talk about how this is going to be a true 1A, 1B backfield. The best friend of a young quarterback, JRich, is a strong rushing attack. And I do believe Minnesota is going to run the shit out of the ball. They didn't have a backup running back last year. They tried Ty Chandler. They had to bring in Cam Akers. It was like Aaron Jones or bust. So now you bring in a competent running mate with Aaron Jones. Where are your thoughts? And this has nothing to do with whether JJ McCarthy is going to be a great quarterback long term. We're talking about the expectations for the Minnesota Vikings offense in 2025. In a couple of weeks, this season, no Jordan Addison, beefed up offensive front. Like, just if I just laid the clues out, if I laid the clues out, high investment in the offensive front, suspended talented third-year wide receiver, more running back help. Like, what do you think the Vikings are probably going to do? They're probably going to assert some dominance on the ground to make things there easier for their young, talented quarterback. What are your thoughts on McCarthy and this offense going into the season?
It's going to be interesting, right? And the one thing that you didn't mention is that Justin Jefferson is in with a soft tissue injury,
Yeah.
which isn't going to help JJ McCarthy in practice, right? Like, go figure. He's struggling a little bit now that his star wide receiver isn't available, and he's the number 1 target on the offense and obviously a massive part of what they do offensively. So, yeah, he's probably going to struggle a little bit, especially with Jordan Addison also dealing with his issues. But, I mean, it's interesting because I want to give Andrew Erickson from Fantasy Pro some credit here because he did tweet this out, and I thought it was interesting. So, Addison suspended for the first 3 games. Week 4 and 5 are international games that they play in Dublin and then in London, and then the Vikings have a bye week in week 6. So now you have a situation where not only is he suspended for the first 3 games, but he is able to practice and play in preseason, so he should be at least ready to go, and then he'll basically be standing on the sidelines for 3 weeks. But if there is any ramp-up period for him while they're on those international games, you may not see a fully unleashed Jordan Addison until week 7. Right? Which at that point, the fantasy football regular season is half over. And in my opinion, that almost makes him undraftable, right? To know that first 3 games he's out, then they go international, then they have the week 6 bye. Like, you're basically not getting him until week 7. And we know that he's not a phenomenal asset as it stands right now. Maybe him and JJ McCarthy have great chemistry and that he can be decent, but in a lot of ways, this offense is going to run through TJ Hawkinson and through Justin
Justin
Jefferson, at
Jefferson.
least early in the season. You talked about the great running game and what it's going to mean for McCarthy. I think they're going to run the ball a lot, run the ball very effectively. I'd be curious, whether Aaron Jones can outscore Mason simply because he's probably going to have the pass catching role in that offense. But outside of that, I think this offense will be pretty mid. I don't expect it to be anything crazy, high flying, because McCarthy's a rookie quarterback. He's going to have his struggles. He's going to have defenses he goes against that are going to be way too difficult for him to decipher on a play-by-play basis, on his ability to read the defense and decipher what they're doing. But there will be some highs as well. It feels like I'm just saying the same thing about him and Caleb Williams, right? Caleb Williams is the same story every day. Some people say he sucks. Some people say he's great. And it just depends on what clips you're seeing and whose reports you're reading. But in the case of J.J. McCarthy, the expectations are low. They are low. They should be low.
No, they're high. They're not. That's the problem. They're high.
They're high for people who aren't me. I'm not expecting him to light the world on fire.
Right.
If he comes out week one, 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, that's a good week.
That doesn't mean you dislike him, right? You're not saying you think he stinks. You don't think he's going to be a great quarterback, but your expectations for him in 2025 are not top 12 quarterback. I want to be clear because I see some people in chat. Oh, you're dismissing, you're discounting the Vikings, you're hating on McCarthy and all. And that's nothing. It's just the reality that he is a rookie quarterback. He is a rookie quarterback. He's a rookie quarterback.
And I like him a lot. I think he was one of the most NFL-ready quarterbacks in the class, period. And I think he's going to show that. But it doesn't mean he's going to come out and light the world on fire either. And let's not forget, this is a team that has a great defense. The same cases we're making about C.J. Stroud, about Patrick Mahomes at times, and Bo Nix even as well, these teams that don't need to score a ton of points to win games, and you don't have to put McCarthy in bad spots and run up the score if you don't need to. I do think Minnesota's going to be a good team, but I'm not expecting them to light the world on fire either. Sam Darnold, for everything that he's not, he's a veteran, experienced quarterback that had a great season last year. To expect the same J.J. McCarthy, I understand where fans are at, but it's tough to do that when he doesn't have the same level of experience, even if he has much more talent in his arm and just kind of what we expect for the potential for him down the line.
Tom Garr says, I'm a massive Minnesota fan. Track all training camp. This team is going to rely on this defense. Hawkinson is also dealing with a groin injury. So, again, we're not out there, so we don't know, but I appreciate dropping that in there. Somebody asked, what are those advanced metrics on Jordan Mason? Ricky said, read the article. I think one of them was his adjusted yards per attempt.
Come on, Ricky.
Before contact. Only players that were better than Jordan Mason were Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Bucky Irving. Those were one of them. So pretty damn good on a per attempt basis. So just go read the article. It's free. Steven says, Vegas has JJ's totals pretty high. We do this, and then if he comes out and has learning and growing pains, right, then people are going to be like, oh, this dude sucks. He's a bum. It's not. And the expectations are high. They were bouncing the wild card round from a Rams team, and they couldn't get anything going offensively. The Vikings offensively, the last, 2-3 weeks were just awful. That big-time game versus the Lions, they didn't show up. Then they didn't show up versus the Rams. The expectation isn't low here. So I just manage them. And that does not mean we dislike him. Let me just do a would you rather really quickly on J.J. McCarthy. Would you rather, JRich, for 2025, J.J. McCarthy or Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence.
J.J. McCarthy or Jordan Love?
I think I got to take Jordan Love.
J.J. McCarthy or Justin Herbert?
Justin Herbert.
McCarthy's ahead of those three quarterbacks right now.
Yeah, that's tough. It's tough. I don't expect a 4,000-yard passer. I barely even expect a 3,500-yard passer.
Josh Allen didn't throw for 4,000 yards last year. That's fair. Jaden Daniels didn't throw for 4K. It's.
And what do they do, Ray? They run, right? Is JJ going to run for 500 yards? That's the question with JJ, right? That I think no one has the answer to. Is we know he can run. Yeah. And if he was going to run for 400 or 500 yards, we'd be like, okay, we can stomach a 3,200-yard, 23, 24 touchdown season because he's going to probably run for 3-4 touchdowns and 500 yards. But if we don't get that from JJ, which I don't know if we're going to get that or not, that's when it becomes tougher to say, yeah, I believe in him over this guy, over guys that we believe could be 30 touchdown guys and 4,000-yard passers. So that's what's tough for me with JJ. I like him though, and I'm happy to be wrong. But when I'm picking players for fantasy, like I do lean on the safer side a little bit, and knowing that the upside for JJ as a rookie doesn't seem to be as high as some of these veteran guys, especially if, like you're saying, the volume doesn't project to be there either. Compared to a Love, compared to a Lawrence, compared to a Herbert is where the volume could be a little bit more comparable.
Here's what's not going to happen, Jay. He's not going to run for 500-600 yards and throw for 4,000 yards, and Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason go off, and Jordan Addison and T.J. Hawkinson are it's just, I don't believe that's going to happen. Okay?
No.
Like I think that is it's just a little too much expectation for a team that should have a good defense and a strong rushing attack. All right, Jay, we had a couple of questions. I want to pull these up. We had a super chat as well. Hit the air horn for Sir Brooks II. JRich, he said, I am trading Garrett Wilson and Michael Penix for Lamar and DK. Full PPR, one quarterback, dynasty, 10-man team. I have the 107 and the 2. People still got rookie drafts looking to compete. So trading away Garrett Wilson and Michael Penix for Lamar and DK. Would you do it, JRich?
Yes, easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Absolutely.
I like Garrett Wilson, but DK could outscore Garrett Wilson.
We're going to talk about Garrett Wilson in a minute.
Really?
Jimbo said, yo, Ray, what's an ideal sample size for Trinity data? Like, when should we check it during the season to make actionable decisions off of it? I look at it right after week 1 just to kind of see, but really, Jimbo, probably like week 3, week 4. Like week 3, week 4 is when you could start
a month of data.
Yeah, a month of data. Give me about 4 weeks of data, and then you could start to see how these teams and usage patterns and trends. About 4 weeks, but I'm probably week 2. I'm like, I see some opportunity of brewing, JRich. I'm gonna go take some shots on specific players, but probably 3 to 4 week period, Jimbo, before you really need to be like, okay, I'm gonna go trade for this guy, or I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. Now, if things look real nasty the first 3 weeks, I might be like, I'm out of here, or I want to go acquire. But probably about 4 weeks, Jimbo, for the data to really settle in. And then we have not gotten here, but since we just talked about Jordan Addison and his suspension from the DUI, Rashee Rice, he did receive jail time. He's got 5 years probation. He hurt people. He fled for the scene, lied about it. Where is his suspension going to land? If Addison got 3, there's no way Rice is just getting 4 games. I think he's going to probably be suspended a little longer than that. What are your thoughts, Jay? Do you know any precedent? Where do you think Rashee Rice's suspension ultimately lands? And reports are, damn, Hollywood Brown is hurt again. So Here we go with that.
I think he'll get 6 games, honestly.
6?
I don't think it'll be more than that. We rarely see players get suspended for more than 6 games. And I don't know, I believe Rice is a first-time offender, right? Because, I mean, I don't know if he's done anything else or been suspended for anything else. But usually, the NFL starts right around 3 games. And then as it gets more and more severe, they'll go to 6 and then kind of a season. Maybe we see a 4-game suspension. It's kind of uncommon. You don't really see that as much. But I think it'll be probably 6. 6 is usually when you get the more severe suspension. So it's third of the season, right, at this stage for Rashee Rice. I wouldn't say it'd be more than that. At all, but do you
6 games?
Like, do you think we're gonna get more than that from Rashee Rice? I feel like 6 is probably about right. People may want him to be suspended for the season or 8 games or 10 games, but like,
my head was at 8, and then they appeal it and get it down. I mean,
the thing is, we don't get appeals anymore, right? So we don't get those. We don't get that 8 talk down to 6 or the 6 talk down to 4. You don't really see a lot of appeals. At all. And I did want to provide a little update because Rappaport did tweet out again. The Rams remain confident that Matthew Stafford will be ready to begin the regular season. But as was clear during yesterday's joint practices with the Cowboys, they love what Jimmy G is bringing as a backup. So he is they think he's going to be fine. And so if you're worried about Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, I probably wouldn't be too worried. But again, when we did the Would You Rather, it's kind of like, what's your risk tolerance and kind of how far would you go down the line with these guys? Because they're in comparable situations and have similar ceilings, but the reports still remain that they're confident in what Stafford's going to be ready, and no concerns for him as the season approaches.
Okay. All right, Jay. We'll see. Hopefully we get the Rashee Rice news sooner rather than later, because I know he's kind of in that no man's land as well. I kind of want to do a Would You Rather with Rashee Rice. It's a very dirty bucket of receiver once you get there. Let me just Here goes the ADP. It's Rashee Rice. Right ahead of him is Mike Evans. Then it's Terry McLaurin, Xavier Worthy, Tedero McMillan, DJ Moore, and George Pickens has risen from wide receiver 26 to 24. So hopefully that old GQ bump is moving old Pickens up the board. A lot of people I think he's too low. I mean, I think Pickens is way too low. I'm very much
way too low.
Way too low. I think he should be around where T. Higgins is 13th.
I mean, you can't put George Pickens at 13.
I didn't.
Could he finish
said
there?
Around.
Sure.
I said around there. I think
around. So what's that? 14, 15?
Well, let's talk Garrett. Let's talk Garrett. Let's just get to it. Let's talk goddamn Garrett Wilson right now because reports are Justin Fields looks like ass.
Shocking.
Those
I wonder who could have reported that.
I'm just telling you, a lot of people are like, "What did you expect? Like, what do y'all expect?"
The Jets are not good. Right? Let's see. Let's look at these numbers. So Justin Fields in his last 3 practices per Connor J. Hughes, Jets beat reporter, 2 for 10 passing, 4 for 16 passing, 2 for 6 passing, 1 interception. Someone get Garrett Wilson a quarterback from Underdog.
I'm just one-on-ones really kind of don't matter. Okay, 7-on-7 really kind of doesn't matter. The thing in training camp that I do pay attention to is team drills, 11-on-11. When you got your 1v1s, and especially now when you do these joint practices, I think you really get a gauge of what you're working with to a degree when you got some live competition. These are numbers from 11-on-11. So when he's going up against his first team defense, and reports are just looks a mess. Offensively, the reports are the passing game looks a mess. And a lot of people are saying, well, what do you expect when he's throwing to Josh Reynolds as a wide receiver too? There's also the news that broke that Mason Taylor has suffered a high ankle sprain. That's not good.
Did he?
Yeah, Mason Taylor, high ankle sprain, so he's going to miss some time. Garrett Wilson is like all they got. And then you got Braylon Allen and Breece Hall. How you feeling, man? Like just this situation, Fields, his opportunity. We know that he is not Aaron Rodgers. We know that he's not Drew Brees. He's not Peyton Manning. What he can do is run the ball. And we've seen Justin Fields be an elite fantasy scorer when he's utilizing his legs. We've seen that. How you feel about the situation, Jay? How do you feel about the situation?
I mean, I think for me, I feel about the same, right? I was never that bullish on Fields. I was never that bullish on Garrett Wilson, even though, he's getting 200 targets. I think the biggest story out of Jets camp, whether you want to talk about Mason Taylor, and you mentioned Aaron Glenn did report at the podium yesterday he has a high ankle sprain. It's really Braylon Allen. Like, Braylon Allen seems like he's going to get a big opportunity this season as the 1A, 1B in tandem with Breece Hall in this rushing attack. Now, again, do I expect it to be a potent rushing attack in terms of efficiency? Not necessarily, especially with this offensive line, but they could be a decent combo. And if you have some Braylon Allen, you should be excited because you're probably going to get an opportunity. But in the passing game, it's really just you're banking on the volume with Justin Fields. Like, you're banking on all of the volume going to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're banking on. And Scribbles was giving me shit in the chat saying, oh, JRich, how can you say that DK Metcalf can outscore Garrett Wilson? It's like, because they're in the same situation. Like, they are in identical situations. We saw Rodgers. Maybe some of you guys didn't see Rodgers doing the footwork drill at Steelers camp the other day, looking real old, right? Going real slow.
Well, he is real old, man. He is real old. Why they got Aaron Rodgers doing that shit anyway, man?
But
just get
the
sacked.
thing is,
just get sacked and go down and live the fight again. We don't need you running around, Rodgers.
Right, but it's like you have two guys where they're the only show in town, the number one offense, and you're just banking on sheer volume for both. We don't know how efficient they're going to be. We don't know if the offense are going to be good, but they are the only show in town, and they have every opportunity to earn a very high target role in their respective offenses, and that's why I view them somewhat similarly. Do I think the talent is the same? Absolutely not. But in terms of what their output could be in range of outcomes, it could be quite similar simply because of the situations that they're in. But no, I wouldn't say I'm very bullish on Justin Fields in the offense. But if you want to draft him as a QB1 on the back end, sure, go for it. He can deliver for fantasy purposes. But I'm not necessarily trying to stack him with Garrett Wilson and hope we get the DJ Moore season we got from a few years ago, because maybe that's even more rare than we realize. And we're just trying to put DJ Moore and Justin Fields in the same bucket as Garrett Wilson and Justin Fields are right now.
Would you rather Justin Fields or Brock Purdy? In his situation, ain't
I'm
good
taking
either.
Justin Fields.
Okay, I
Yeah,
was about to say that Purdy situation,
taking Justin
it's
Fields.
looking a little rough too. They ain't got no receivers available outside of Ricky Pearsall and George Kittle. Justin Fields or Dak Prescott?
I'm taking Dak.
I'm taking Dak as well. Justin Fields or Caleb Williams?
I think I'm taking Caleb. I think I'm willing to run the risk on Caleb.
Justin Fields or Drake May?
I'm taking Drake May.
Of course you are. Justin Fields or Jared Goff?
What's wrong with taking Drake May? What is your thoughts on it?
I've got no thoughts. Justin Fields or Jared Goff?
Jared Goff.
Last one, Fields or Herbert?
I feel like you should take Herbert, but it's probably really close. It's probably really close. Depends on how much they pass.
He's got to run the ball, man. He's got to run the ball.
That's what's going to give him his fantasy value is going to be tied to whether he runs the ball.
He hasn't had more than 370 pass attempts. He's never eclipsed 2,600 passing yards. He's never eclipsed 17 passing touchdowns. He's got to run the football.
I'm taking Drake May.
He has to run the ball. And at what point does the offense let's let it play out. It's August 6th. We're just reacting to the reports in the news that the Jets offense does not look like a strong passing attack offense right now, this early part of camp. We've got time. We'll see how it plays out.
Well, it's also, right, like, I believe it's Mark Brunell, right, is the OC coming over from Detroit. And I don't know what his offensive philosophy is, but if he's trying to,
Mark Brunell also told us in Mobile a few years ago that he can make Malik Willis a Pro Bowler. That's what Mark Brunell told me.
Well, guess what, Ray? He's going to have his chance this season with Justin Fields. But,
you knew where I was going with that story. That's what he said. He said, I can make that dude a Pro Bowler. All right.
Right. So
I'm in too.
But now it's, can he take that Detroit offense and make it simple enough for Justin Fields, right? Because not everyone can run that offense. And this is the same. And Ray, we can get to your boy if you want, because I'm about to segue to Indianapolis. I'm about to segue to Indianapolis
Let's go.
Because I've always talked about how Shane Steichen has had very smart quarterbacks for the majority of his career as an OC, but then as a head coach, he had to deal with a different style of quarterback, an inexperienced quarterback in Anthony Richardson. And tomorrow night, Ray, you are going to get your wish, because Anthony Richardson will be the starting quarterback for week 1, preseason week 1 for the Indianapolis Colts, with Daniel Jones starting preseason game number 2. Where do you stand now on ARich, knowing he's starting preseason week 1? And I still think I am with you for now, that he is in pole position, to use Mike Tomlin's rhetoric.
Are you now?
To be the starter week 1. I said that on Monday. But do you think, where are you at on ARich, and how do you feel about him starting preseason week 1?
Rumble, young man, rumble. It's time. He's learned his listen, man. Sometimes you need to get a spanking. Were you spanked as a child? Did you get whoopings, JRich? You didn't look like you got
I got more than a spanking sometimes.
Kim was giving you that spanking? Not moms. Kim didn't give you that spanking.
No, Kim did not.
Okay. I got spanked. Sometimes you got to get spanked to learn your lesson. Hey, Rich, here you go. This is it. I think he knows it. You know it. I know it. This is it. If he does not step it up, show some promise, get better, he will not be there. Like they're not going to pick up his option, whether the 5th-year option. They won't pick that up. He'll play out his contract. They'll move on. They'll find a new head coach. Much like Justin Fields, I'm not like all these passes are great. Like I like looking at him. Looks good. I'm not expecting him to be Drew Brees. I don't. That is not my expectation level. What I need him to do is be a better decision maker, which that remains to be seen. And then the one thing that Fields does that ARich does not do is he will run. And he's really good when he runs the ball. Anthony Richardson, I think we believe he has the skill set to be a talented, dynamic rusher of the football. But we haven't seen him go ape shit running the ball. I've seen Fields go off, right? Have 150-something yards, have a 60, 70-yard touchdown run, make an explosive. I think ARich is high is like 60-something yards, So I think I want him to run more. He needs to protect himself, and he just needs to make the right play. And I do believe that having Tyler Warren there will help out. Just having a big target that if I can't get it to the outside hashes, if I can't get it to the sideline, I've got a big target underneath that I know is going to be available and reliable for me. I told you like 2 months ago, I'm still at cost, man. At cost, I'm still very much fine with taking a shot on ARich, man. Where's he at right now? Anthony Richardson
He's
on
pretty low,
underdog.
right?
QB 27. So he's moved up a little bit, but he's
Him or Geno
behind
Smith, Ray. That's tough for you.
Geno, Stafford, Cam Ward. He's I think he's a
Would you take
price
him over
fine.
Bryce Young?
Probably not. I like Bryce.
I think
I'm
you
a big
would. You take him over Cam Ward, though, right?
for this season, yes. Not
Yeah.
this season. I would take him over. I would take him over Ward. I think the Tennessee offense is going to be a work in progress, as it probably should be. And it's
Shouldn't
and again,
expect
you got
much
a rookie
differently there.
quarterback, and then not a lot of. It's like Ridley, and he's not like the Calvin Ridley from the Atlanta Falcons. You know, he's a little bit older Calvin Ridley, but I think I'm still good with ARich at cost. I am going to go down with that ship, JRich. I'll go down with that ship. You know what I mean? And Walt, yeah, your main job is you got to be able to throw the ball. So can he
I would
just
say that, man.
system do it? Can he system do it? And if he can
Yeah.
do that, then I think he can find some success. But we shall see. I see Cheese Curd Bandit. ARich is 2+ years younger than Tyler Shuck. Your boy, JRich.
You got that
Practice.
throw? You got that throw queued up for me?
I've got that throw, but I've got way more negative reports about your boy Tyler Shuck than that throw. But where you at with him, man? I know you are the resident Saints truther of this chat, of this group. Nobody besides you and
Yes, sir.
Patrick like the New Orleans Saints. Tyler Shuck, since we're gonna play that game, let's give it. We can be equal opportunists today. So here's Tyler Shuck yesterday. Tyler Shuck with the first team offense today. He was awful. And 11 on 11, 5 for 12 passing, third QB off the board. Call me whatever you want to call me, JRich. I am not buying it if it's on sale at Burlington Coat Factory that Tyler Shuck and Dylan Gabriel were better than Shedeur Sanders. I'm not buying it. I'm not. Earmuffs.
What a segue.
Earmuffs. I'm not fucking buying it. There's no way. There's no way, JRich, that Shuck and or Dylan Gabriel were better quarterbacks than Shedeur Sanders. I'm just not buying it. And I'm having a hard time.
But is it just about being a quarterback, though, Ray? Or is it about maybe a little bit more than that?
It's probably about a lot of stuff. But I'm just talking about.
This is the NFL.
I'm just talking about the quarterback play. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
Yeah, he's probably going to be the backup start of the season. At least the way things are trending, unless something changes, which I don't expect it to, Rattler seems to be the better quarterback in camp right now. Now, again, when he gets on the field, they may quickly be like, look, Shuck may not be ready, but Rattler ain't the answer either. But yeah, it seems like Shuck is probably going to be operating as the backup, maybe even the third string to start the season. We'll see. But he's not lighting up camp. He's not earning that job, and he's probably not going to be the starter out of training camp. But Ray,
I agree. Let me just say this. I agree with Kevin, man. My wife and I were talking about this the other day. He didn't. I agree. I agree with Kevin. He said, yeah, but Sanders did not take the process seriously. He even came out and said that if he were to go back, he would do things differently. So if we really just picked ourselves back up and put ourselves back into the reports that were coming out, him not taking it seriously, there's probably a lot of truth to some of that, right?
For sure.
And it hurt him. I guess for me, right, I'm looking at when you're just talking about winning football games and putting the best player on the field, but that's not the business of the NFL, right? Yeah, and that's what you're alluding to is it's not just about that. It's not being a distraction, doing this, doing whatever you want. It's just hard watching these guys and knowing that, like, I just don't think they were better collegiate quarterbacks than Sanders. And we're going to get our chance to see. We're going to get our chance to see Shedeur, Friday? Friday.
Yep. So
we get a chance to see.
at the podium a few minutes ago, it was reported. Well, it was reported yesterday, but Kevin Stefanski came out today and announced that Shedeur Sanders will be the starter officially Friday night versus the Panthers. Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, all out for that game. So it will be a lot of Shedeur Sanders, and the Browns also signed Tyler Snoop Huntley. So he will take some snaps as well, probably third quarter, fourth quarter. But it's expected to be a majority Shedeur Sanders show on Friday night against the Panthers. So, Ray, you will get your wish. We will see a lot of Shedeur Sanders. Now, again, does he run with the first team? Is it a hybrid of first and second team? Is it mostly second team? We'll see. But Shedeur Sanders will be starting and seeing the majority of the reps versus the Panthers on Friday. And I believe Bryce Young is also going to be playing.
Yeah, I think so.
Came out and said that
starters are going to play. Yep.
And so we should see a bit of, obviously, McMillan. We're going to see some Bryce Young. And we'll obviously see a hell of a lot of Shedeur Sanders as well.
Yeah. There are a lot of people talking about how this is going to go, right? If he goes out there and he plays well, it's preseason. That shit don't matter. It's preseason week 1. If he goes out there and stinks it up, I told you, that's why he was a 5th round pick. And has he even been getting he wasn't practicing a few days. Something just doesn't feel right. Just go play. Go play. Go play. I'm not going to be conspiracy theory GQ today. He's got to play. This is a big opportunity for him. Not that he's not going to get more opportunity, because he's probably going to play in more preseason games, but this is one where he's probably going to get an extended look, JRich, with those first 3 guys not participating in this game. He's going to get an extended look. There are only 3 preseason games. This just feels like it's going to be a bad offense. I don't.
Yeah.
Doesn't it just feel like a train wreck waiting to happen in Cleveland?
Imagine if Jerry Jeudy doesn't play, right? Like, we're hoping to see some Dylan Sampson. I'm sure we'll see some Dylan Sampson, right?
We're going to see some David Bell. We're going to see some
Jamari
Thrash. I'm just
we'll
throwing names
probably see some Thrash, right? We'll see some
your
Thrash.
boy Thrash.
Probably see some Seti Tillman.
Some hair. Probably no Tillman. He's too injury prone.
Deontay probably sits. I don't think Deontay's going to play.
You're going to see some Harold Fannin. You're going to see some Floria. And you're going to see a bunch of receivers wearing number 47. They're going to be number 47, number 36. And when you see those guys out there, you know what time it is. Not good time. That's what you're going to see. You're going to see number 37 lined up at wide receiver, number 48 lined up at wide receiver, trying to catch passes from Shedeur. But here we go. Here we freaking go. And Ricky, I don't think they'll cut him. I don't think
I don't think. Oh, well, it depends on what they do at quarterback. Would they rather? I think the problem for Sanders is that Gabriel currently projects as the practice squad start, like the practice squad quarterback or the 3rd quarterback. And then they probably keep Pickett and Flacco. But the issue is that they can't cut Flacco if Pickett isn't healthy, right? Because if Pickett's still hurt and he's not available, they can't cut Flacco because they'll probably start week 1. And that would probably have Sanders off the roster unless they cut Gabriel, which I don't think they're cutting a 3rd round pick, but we'll see.
Kevin said when the 40s come out, I'm cutting the game off. R. Jonesy says 37 at wide receiver is nasty, but here's the thing. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about.
So we're going to see.
It's going to be so bad. Not only is he going to have number 37 on, they're going to line up like Michael Irvin did at Miami. 3-point stance out there at wide receiver, and then they're going to blame that Sanders for not getting the damn ball to number 40.
In that wing T offense with Dylan Sampson in the backfield.
He split out. Go look at some of them old Miami Hurricane videos. Man, them receivers used to line up in 3-point. JRich, they used to be down like this, man.
That is insane.
How do you
who coached this team?
How do you even run routes like that? I don't know, but that's what he's going to be throwing to.
How do you not get jammed into the dirt on doing that? Like, honestly,
the hell if I know, JRich. It was a different era.
They don't make football players like they used to.
Yeah, they don't make them like they used to. You ain't gonna talk about the playmaker. And unfortunately, JRich, I really wanted to stream this game live. I wanted to go live and stream this game with the people and talk through it. But no, it's date night with me and the wifey, so we're not gonna be able to do that. We'll be at a escape room in Dallas, JRich. Have you ever been to one of them?
I've done one. Yeah, pretty fun.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do on Friday. So I'll be checking the Shedeur updates from the phone. All right, JRich, what else we got? Let me scroll through this. Teddy Bridgewater back. Tampa Bay. Teddy Two Gloves is back. They did Teddy wrong, man. You heard all that shit. High school. He's paying for them to get Uber rides home, meals to help some of those kids out, therapy for their legs.
Unfair advantage, right? Unfair advantage.
Get him up out of there. You're suspended and fined. And Teddy Bridgewater was like, F y'all, I'm going back to the NFL. So Teddy Two Gloves.
I'm going back to the NFL.
Yeah, I'm going back to the NFL. Get me out of here. Teddy Two Gloves back in the NFL, JRich.
Crazy.
seeing what else we had. Articles from old GQ. Got another one dropping tomorrow on Ashton Genty. JRich, very
Ooh.
excited about Ashton Genty. Did you see? Here's a quote. Your boy's on this quote. My boy's on this quote. Ben Johnson says the 4 guys that have earned the most trust as pass catchers are, drumroll, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Cole Kmet, and Olamide Zaccheaus. JRich. Ben Johnson
What do you see
says,
none of, Ray?
I don't see the young guys on there, man.
Yeah, don't see
the
any
young
rookies.
guys. And it just, listen, Matt Harmon and people, they tried to slander me, JRich. The comments, they got on OGQ because those sleepers were too asleep. I talked about Kyle Monangai being a sleeper in that video with Harmon. And you know what? JRich, you know where Kyle Monangai is currently slated on the Chicago Bears depth chart?
I've heard he's running with the twos. Deuces are wild.
Exclusively running with the 2. So I'm just putting it out there for my family here.
We talked about him after the draft, didn't we?
We did talk about Kyle Monangai. We sure did, right after the draft. And what do I always say, Jay? I'm not even focused on so much of what the coaches are saying, but what they're not saying. And what I ain't heard a lot of is Roshan Johnson lighting it up. Get the hell out of here. So if he's on waivers, it'd be somebody I'd be interested in. Give me some Monangai. Remember, Ben Johnson's had DeAndre Swift before, right? He's had some Swift. And what happened?
Well, Swift was actually pretty good for fantasy purposes with Ben Johnson. Just, he got hurt a lot.
Got hurt.
Yeah.
Got hurt.
Yeah.
But Kyle Monangai. So your Patriots, JRich. Shout out to Taylor Kyles, man. He does a great job. Shout out to Taylor, man. I'm going to get him on the show. We're going to do something. But does a great job with New England beat reporter and just going through who's playing well. Read this, JRich. Read this.
Kayshon Boutte continues to impress at camp. The most consistent player at the position, and I don't think it's been close. Ray, what do you think about that?
It's your team.
Matt Collins coming back.
It's your team.
Right?
You
Drake May, quarterback.
There was a world where Malik Neighbors and Kayshon Boutte were on the field at the same time.
There was a world.
There was a world where that existed, JRich. We were excited about the booty man. We were excited about Boutte. I just think, again, when New England rolls out their week 1, the starting receivers are going to be Boutte, Diggs, and Pop Douglas. Kyle Williams is going to play. I like Kyle Williams, but I'm still not.
He's the wide receiver 4 right now.
He's not the freaking one. People are drafting him like he's the one, right behind Stephon Diggs. It's Diggs and Kyle Williams, and I'm like, I'm not so fast Lee Corso style.
He'll be involved though. That's the good thing about Williams.
Right?
Is that all reports I've seen is that he's the wide receiver 4, and if anything happens to just about any receiver, he's gonna get the first crack at reps on the team. But like, people need to remember that Kayshon Boutte was arguably the best receiver on the Patriots, especially when it came to his connection down the field with Drake May on the real football field. Not in practice, not in training camp, not in preseason. In real games, Boutte was probably the best receiver on the Patriots outside of Pop Douglas, because Pop Douglas was good too. The scheme was just kind of shit. But when it came to throwing the ball down the field, it was Boutte that Drake May trusted and threw the ball up to at plenty of key situations last season. So there is a world where maybe he makes an impact for this team. For fantasy purposes, of course, it's going to be limited. He's not going to see a ton of action overall. But even with that, if he's out there and on the field, he's a player that you want to maybe have on as the last guy on your roster in some best ball leagues, or just like as an option, because he is so cheap and no one talks about him. But I am excited for Kyle Williams too. He could be a guy that in the second half of the season really gets going, because there's been a lot of glowing reports about him. And then, of course, Travion Henderson.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't even know where people were at on Henderson, but I haven't heard a bad thing about him. Like, I really haven't heard, outside of some of his pass blocking and stuff, but like, he caught a wheel route from Drake May for a touchdown just 2 days ago. And Ramondre Stevenson keeps fumbling in practices and workouts. Like,
come on, man.
I know everyone likes RJ Harvey and some of these other guys, but like, Henderson could be the RB3 pretty easily behind Omarion Hampton and Ashton Genty.
Are you sure you want to? Would you take him over Hampton? Would you take him over Hampton? You're not taking him over Ashton Genty. Would you take him over
I don't think you take him over Hampton just because Najee, there's still no timetable for Najee's return.
What happened? Is it as what just your put the doctor hat on, JRich. What is your medical opinion on if this was remember we got killed in the chat. Oh, it's just a scratch on the eyelid, Ray. You're overreacting. It's a superficial scratch on the eyelid. He's good. That was 2 damn months ago. And he's walking.
That was like
you might
after
as well
July
put
4th.
him next to Desmond Watson from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who got walking at practice to get his ass in shape. Just put him in now. They just walk practice. What's wrong with it? Like, what happened? Why are his legs not working? Can he not see? What's going on with Najee? Have you heard anything?
I haven't seen anything about the injury. And obviously teams aren't required to report injuries right now. But I mean, he could be available, right? Like, it's still a month away. Hopefully his eye is not swollen by that point. He can see properly. Now, the other side of it, of course, Ray, is like, does Najee need training camp? Like, no, he really doesn't. As long as he understands the plays and can run a walkthrough, which I'm sure he probably could at this stage, especially with how many years he's been in the league, like, he's probably fine. But you want to see him at practice. You want to kind of know what that split looks like with Omarion Hampton, and you want to know if he's available at all. Because for a player like Najee and everything that he could be for this team, no timetable for return is a little bit concerning. Week to week, we hope to have him back for week 1. We're confident he'll be back. That at least gives you some indication that while we're not sure he can see today, they expect him to be healthy and maybe he's progressing in his recovery from whatever the injury is.
That eye was messed up. It wasn't just some...
I'm sure it's swollen or he can't see or whatever it is, right? I'm sure it's pretty bad because the only time we've seen Najee, he's like this. He's got the hood on, the glasses on, like you can barely even see his face, probably because he's covering something up. But hopefully he's okay. And the good thing is that he can still, stay in shape and work out and stuff for the most part. Again, we don't know how his depth perception and just kind of his ability to see is impacted and how that may impact him. But hopefully he's okay. He can return this season, but with no timetable for return, it's hard to have a lot of confidence.
Come on, Jimbo.
Jimbo.
Come on, Jimbo. Come on.
You got to keep an eye on the situation. Come on, man. Come on. No love for Najee out here. Jeez.
Oh, man.
Man, we just trying to have a good time on July 4th.
All right, JRich. Deontay Thornton doing his thing. He's listed with the starters, even though Geno Smith said, damn, Trey Tucker was Santana Moss reincarnate.
It's a big comp. I like that. I didn't think Trey Tucker was that big, though. He's tiny.
Like he's short, but he's put together. You know what I'm saying?
Which is Santana Moss-esque.
He's put together very well. I'm excited for Geno Smith and that offense. All right, Jay. I don't think we have anything else. Any more news? Let me scour Schefter. You see anything in the comments before we get out of here? See anything in the comments?
See that ARich just tweeted it out that apparently if the Cowboys trade Micah Parsons to the Rams, that Aaron Donald said he would come out of retirement. Look at you with that smirk. Look at you. You're like, oh man, get to see that Aaron Donald for one last ride.
I love that. I love Aaron Donald. Man, I love
Aaron Donald.
ESPN, the NFL. This is 16 minutes ago. Draft rights. Yeah. So there will be no NFL Network draft now. It's just going to be all ESPN.
I don't know if that's necessarily true.
ESPN and NFL reach multi-year extension on draft
the NFL.
Rights. Yeah, I know.
So draft this is what I was talking about that Field Yates was tweeting about. So it's like increased draft coverage and their rights to draft content and that kind of stuff. Because right now it's all NFL Network, right?
So
they handle pretty much everything.
And when I'm reading the top part, it says all the WWE PLEs are going to be on. So to me, it sounds like they're going away from Peacock, and it's like all the SummerSlams, WrestleMania. It's going to be exclusively on ESPN, but you have to buy that $30 a month thing to get it. Well, that's bullshit.
That's what I don't know is if it's like another subscription beyond ESPN Plus or whatever it is they're doing.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, we gotta get some clarity on this, JRich, because I got a lot of streaming platforms around this household, man. We got to get some clarity on that. Hit the music, dude. Hit the music. Luke said more awful draft analysis. Y'all know we got the biggest draft stream. Come on, Luke.
Yes, sir.
You know we got the biggest draft stream. That's just what it is. You know, y'all gonna be pulled up here. Y'all gonna tap in here. Misfit Dynasty Evans in a late first for Pickens in an early second. Would you do that?
Ooh, I like Pickens there. Yeah. I'd risk it. I like Pickens there.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that. All right. We appreciate y'all. Thank you. Thank you for pulling up. Thank you for tapping into the show. Great conversation as always. If you're new to the channel, if it's your first time pulling up, if you came over from Yahoo, man, hit the thumbs up button, like, subscribe to the channel, help us grow. Comment below. Friday's show should be very fun. Do you know how many games we got Thursday?
3.
We got 3 games on Thursday? Friday's going to be dope. Friday's going to be dope. 3 games on Thursday. Friday will be fun, so make sure you pull up. JRich and I will be here 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out the content on Yahoo. We'll be on Bleacher Report tomorrow. Jay, anything I'm missing?
No. But yeah, Bengals, Eagles, Raiders, Seahawks, and Colts, Ravens. We don't know if Geno's going to start, but Pete said that the starters may play for the Raiders. We haven't had confirmation on the other players yet. Ravens ain't starting to anybody. Bengals, though, Zach Taylor said some of the Bengals will start, so we'll see them. I don't think the Eagles
Taj
play
Brooks,
anybody,
baby. Good to see some Taj Brooks. Taj Brooks.
Yes,
and
sir.
Jorge. Jorge is here. Jimbo's going to get us out of here. He said, EY. Appreciate y'all. We appreciate you, Jimbo. Much love. All right, JRich, we out. Peace.
Peace.